All right. It's almost 10 a.m. on a Sunday morning. Took care of some business online, beat up my air conditioning unit a little bit more. Part comes in tomorrow. Pretty excited about that. Felt like making some maps. So I have maps that I actually need to make for some of my campaigns. Hey, what's up, Burning Hound? But I want to finish this. I want to finish this up because I have these videos that I want to make for Patreon, and I always get overly ambitious about the videos that I decide to make, and then they end up just sort of like in limbo. And like making videos take a lot of time. Anyways, you don't have to listen to me complain about it, but I wanted to work on Wayward Wyrmling a little bit, so we're gonna be doing the maps from Wayward Wyrmling. We're gonna remake them in Inkarnate. Now, the maps that they provided are certainly good enough to do what needs to be done, but, you know, we got the tools. I even own these tiles, IRL and digitally, so, like, I'm set. Over here, I'm set. But I want to make some, like, maps. These are all very simple maps. We can make them pretty quick in Inkarnate. So, let's jump into it, I guess. I think we've got 1, 2, 3 maps. Plus, I wanted to add a little map to the beginning based on our notes. So for now, I'm going to move this guy off to the side. And then I'm going to go ahead and open up my conversion notes about Wayward Wyrmling. To remind myself, I think the first thing is they find a body trapped under a fallen log or some shit. All right. So what we'll do is we'll make it a nice small map. We could probably get away with a 20 by 20, honestly. So we're going to go to Fantasy Battle Maps. Going to choose a style. 2.0. And 2K is fine. Let's go with... What, columns is how wide it is, right? Yeah, let's go with 30 by 20. There we go. And create. All right. So what we'll do now that we're in here is mentally adjust that we're not in Photoshop and don't use the Photoshop hotkeys for everything. All right, I'm going to go and I'm going to turn on the grid just to give me a sense of just how small this map is actually going to be. And that will kind of help me not make like overly large dead bodies and whatnot. The first and most important thing we need is the dead body. So I'm going to look for skeleton. Here we go. We got gothic skeletal bones. We got dungeon skeletons. Let's go with skeletons. We need one that is smushed. This guy seems good. We're going to shrink him down. Character generally takes up a 5-foot space. So we'll just put him over here. And I don't usually start with stamps. I usually start with paint in the background. But since I want to make sure that, you know, we remember that this guy is a thing. And let's see. We need a tree that's fallen down. I don't remember what it's listed as. Fallen trees. There we go. All right. Now, I have a nicer fallen tree that I like to use from Afternoon Maps, whose style is eerily similar to this. I'm still convinced that it might just be them that provide all the stuff for this. But I'm going to put the body like that. There we go. And now everything else that we do just kind of builds around this like nice little centerpiece that we have there. Okay. Not going to make it a pine forest, even though I definitely prefer the pine forest vibe. Let's see. So, normally I put a little bit of bracken on the ground. So let's go back to that. Let's see. I got to pick something to get out of here, though. So we'll just pick this tree. Okay. We'll go to paint. And we're going to try to get a nice forest floor going here. Let's see. We got forest floor texture. Sounds good. We're going to go to this guy. There we go. And it's currently set to snap to grid, which is fine for what we're doing. And I apply that. It's a little boring as is, so we're going to go in and grab these bushes. And we're going to size the bushes down a bit. We're going to lower the opacity on them quite a bit. And I'm going to fly. And that just kind of adds a little bit more, right? It's a, kind of breaks up the texture a little bit. I like it. So now we need to decide where the general flow of things is going to be on this map. Notice that forest floor and grass are the same tile. So I'm going to do a regular brush. There we go. And let's see how that looks when I start painting it out. There we go. All right, so where I paint this is where I'm telling the adventurers, this is a good place to walk, right? This is where you should go. I might actually reduce the size a bit more on this. There we go. Get some more variation on the path. All right, so we got a path kind of coming in here. We'll do like a clearing where this guy got murdered, essentially. There we go. And then like another path that leads that away. And then we'll do like another path that leads here. There we go. By having several paths that are very obvious and then like a little central clearing, it feels a bit like a dungeon, even though they're in a forest. Right? Like they could go in different directions. That's like the subconscious thing that they're going to be thinking when they see this. Like, oh no, we have to figure out which way to go. You don't even have to say that. They're going to see this and they're going to be like, oh yeah, we got to figure out which way to go now. And that's kind of what we're trying to achieve here. All right, let's get another dirt color down here. Ooh, I do love this fade dirt. This is a good texture. So let's see, we'll lower this to get a bit more rocks going. I'm going to go ahead and change the color to be kind of a brown. Let's see if we can get a brown out of this. There we go. And I'm just going to paint over what we already have with some opacity. That just kind of mixes the textures up. So we have a little bit of the forest floor and the grass, but then we also have this like occasional rocks and moss and things like that. Yeah. Lovely. All right. And then we're going to add a slightly darker color. So maybe this soot ground looks pretty good. Let's check the size on that. That's the size of my brush. Here we go. And we'll go, and you can see right away that's really darkening it up. There we go. And that sort of makes it feel like it's been worn into the ground a bit more, you know? Yeah. Definitely kind of darken it up under here and around the edges. All right, cool. Now we can go ahead and start adding stamps. So let's go ahead and save it. We're going to call this Wayward Wyrmling Dead Researcher. There we go. It's a good map. Good map name. Probably didn't spell researcher right. Whatever. Good. Less good to spell your stuff incorrectly. All right, let's see what plants we have. We want to keep it pretty simple so that we have the same stuff on our next map as well. Now, we can achieve that just by duplicating this map and then moving it over to the other one, but So I'm going to grab these desert plants, and I'm going to make them small. There we go. And I'm going to paint them in using multiple brush. I believe that's how it works. Let's see. Area. There we go. And I'm going to lower the density, though, because that was, like, way too many. But now I can just kind of paint these in, see? So I'm going to go to the lowest layer, which is -5, because I want everything else to sort of be on top of these. There we go. But this creates, like, you know, when you actually go in a forest, I don't know if you go hiking and stuff, but off the beaten path, it's hard to get around. There's like a lot of, it's called bracken. There's a lot of bracken in the forest. That kind of makes it hard to move. Fun trivia fact, Bracken was the name of my second D&D character. Technically, I had a first D&D character, but I only played him once in like a one-shot, and it sort of fell apart. And he was a Kender, so I'm really ashamed of that, actually. My second character was Bracken the Blitzer. He was a Minotaur, which was pretty damn cool, if I'm being honest. Let's see. So we got the desert plants. They look good as ferns. I wish there was an actual good fern, but I don't feel like there is. Yeah, like there's this, and that's okay. But we're going to go up a layer. Hey, what's up, Fanfy? We're just building some maps today, or this morning. We got actual prep to do and a game to run tonight, but I got to keep my afternoon open because I'm taking my kid to their first day of work, their orientation. So that's pretty exciting. All right. And let's see. Have I run Wayward Wyrmling before? Yeah, like twice. Yeah, it's a really good one. Now this one right here, this frivolous fern or whatever it is from their Feywild set, you can just kind of run the slider around until you get like some like greens and browns and just go with that. See, go right about there. And if you lower the saturation a bit, it just looks like a kind of natural plant. And so we could add those in to get a bit more variety on this bracken layer. There we go. Very nice, very nice. All right. Other things that might be in the forest, we could put some more fallen trees if we wanted to. So I'm gonna switch from let's see, multiple to single to have a little bit more control over this, and we'll put a fallen tree over here, and then maybe, I don't know, another fallen tree over there. All right. I think we have enough underlying stuff here. Again, I don't want to overly complicate this map. We could add like a rock or something. Let's see. Rock. What's the word I'm looking for? Boulder? Stone? They apparently hired me to... this isn't true, but it feels like they hired me to name all of their assets because, shit, everything has, like, completely different names. Boulder. Alright, we'll go with these boulders. Sure. And let's see. Put a nice little rock right here. And maybe another rock down here. Just to add a bit of, I don't know, variety to things. And the best way to integrate that into the scene is with these forest vines. They just look like these fuzzy blobs of green, but I'm telling you what, they really do. They put in the goddamn work. You put those things on stuff, and suddenly it looks like you were really thoughtful about your map making. Look at that. Bam. Like we just planned it that way. And also by having these rocks on the map, it's not as weird when there's like a cavern up ahead. You know what I'm saying? So, smart. Smart. Put some vines on that there tree. Nah, I feel like that implies that it's been on the ground a long time. I guess it has if he's turned into a skeleton, but whatever. All right, let's go to trees. Thanks. This is a secret confession that I'm kind of embarrassed about, but I've always wanted to make maps, but I've never had the confidence to make maps. I've always been like, I'm not good at making maps. And so for years, I was subscribing to like every Patreon for every map maker because I loved good maps and I wanted good maps, but I was like, I can't do it. But Inkarnate, baby, it's the great equalizer for sure. It was a learning curve to pick it up for sure, but I'm really glad I did because now I'm very confident that whenever I need a map for anything, I don't have to like go looking for it. I just come to Inkarnate and I just make it. And that feels so good to be able to do that. Now, like, I usually work almost exclusively in Photoshop, so getting the hotkeys like figured out here, switching back and forth between them, it's been a little bit of a pain in the ass, but it's not too bad. Inkarnate costs me $25 a year, and as long as I'm using stamps I made myself or stamps provided by Inkarnate, I can use them commercially. It's honestly an incredible deal. For only $25 a year, you don't even notice $25 after it's gone. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's it called? Discord hits me for like $100 a year, and I feel that. You know what I'm saying? But like $25, they ask for it. I'm like, here you go. Thanks. I mean, I spend. God, I must give Zapiku $40 a month or more, because I'm on their Patreon, like 2 of their Patreons, and so like, yeah, $25 a year for unlimited maps that I can also use commercially. Can't beat that shit. I love Inkarnate. I love Inkarnate. I have other ones like Dungeon Alchemist, which is absolutely amazing, and Dungeon Draft, which is an absolutely superior tool from a technical standpoint to Inkarnate. But I think that Inkarnate, for me as a Photoshop person, Inkarnate is exactly what I am looking for. So anyways, there's our map. What we could do here is some people like to have the grid, and some people don't. I'm going to save it real quick because sometimes the grid settings can be a little bit of a butt. We can go over here and control a lot of stuff. For one, we can set where the grid shows up. So if we want the grid to be there, but be underneath all the trees and shit, see, we can move it down. That's kind of a cool effect. We can also change the color of the grid. So if we thought maybe neon green was the right decision, we could do that. And we can also go in here and set how wide the grid is. And we can also set the opacity on the grid. Kind of lower it down a little bit. Right? Pretty neat. So, yeah. I kind of like that effect of the lines in the background there. I think that's pretty cool. So, we'll go ahead and keep it. I guess the only issue I'm having with this map is how this tree fell. Like, I feel like it should have fallen from inside the forest a bit. So maybe something like that would be better. Yeah, okay. Can you still see that there's a skeleton there? You can. All right, cool. Might want to keep his head intact so they could do a, what is it, Speak with Dead if they need to. Could always rotate his body, too. Ooh, ooh. There we go. Perfection. All right, so that matches up with what we have added to the adventure, which is an encounter where they discover this guy dead on the ground. Really happy with how this map turned out, so let's go ahead and save it. Yeah, the grid under the trees is such a nice technique. It reminds me of like when I first started making minis pop out of the frame, like 3D kind of pop out of the frame. You see that everywhere now. I'm not trying to say I'm the first person to do it, but I'm the first person I know of that did it. Yeah, it kind of has that feel like you definitely as a player are like, ugh, guess I can't go through those trees, but you can go through those trees. But this is a really good technique for kind of guiding them and making it feel like a forest dungeon. Like, obviously, you can go through the trees, you can climb the trees, you cut the trees down, Dungeons and Dragons, but by having the grid under the trees, it really kind of corrals the players to be like, oh, forest dungeon, which I like. Okay, so I could start from scratch on the next map, or I could take what I have here so that I have all the same stamps and then do it that way. I think that's what I'll do. So I'm going to go back to my maps, and I'm going to go ahead and duplicate this map by cloning it. And this one is going to be called Kobold Entrance. All right. So let's go over to our new map, Kobold Entrance. I think this is Kobold Entrance. Sure hope so. All right. And like I said, we get to keep everything in our most recent stamps. So that kind of saves us some time. And I believe in our most recent brushes too. So this is a great way to keep some consistency between maps. I can go over here and just get rid of everything. And then let's take a look at the map we're building. Let's see. We'll do this and this. And let's see. Come on, Windows. Believe in yourself. There you go. Nope. All right. Don't believe in yourself. Be a fucking quitter. All right. Go over to here. All right. Let's see. That's the map we need. Might be easier to do. Let's save this image out. And then if I open it up in Photoshop, I'll be able to zoom in and move around and stuff. There we go. Boop. See, that's what you're supposed to do, Windows. All right. Let's get rid of all this. There we go. So let's measure it. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I want to say 20 by 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 20 by 16. So it's a small boy. This is a small boy encounter. So we're going to go over here. And we said that it was 16 wide. And it's 20. There we go. I think that's right. No, why did I put 30? Hold on. 16. And... oh, okay. Okay. It's trying to, like, resize based on that. Is there a way to unlink that so that it doesn't stay? I feel like it's going to try auto-adjusting. That's a real pain in the butt. All right. Let's see what we could do. I want it to be 16 by 30, but keep all my dimensions. Well, I could design it sideways, to keep my settings. That could work. Let's see. Yeah, I guess we could do that. Okay. So this new map then is going to be... Wait, why does it keep saying it's... Okay, hold on. I've done this many times, I swear. Let's see. So if we do 16... At that point, I kind of just want to do another 30 by 20. Fuck it. We'll just do another 30 by 20. All right. Let's get to work then. I wish there was a way to rotate the canvas, but apparently I can't get these guys to not be linked together, which is really annoying. Oh well. Let's see. In the top left corner, which would be the bottom left corner here, there's a fallen tree. There's another fallen tree near the entrance to the cave, which would be on the right-hand side of our screen. There's a cave on the right-hand side of the screen, and there's a little pond. All right. So what we're going to do is go back to our paintbrush, and let's see. We're going to go ahead and lower the opacity. Kind of get this force floor thing rocking again. Might just start over with our guys. There we go. So we'll do full opacity and apply. And then we'll switch to this guy, lower the opacity, and apply. There we go. Matches up pretty good to what we got on the screen there. And then we can start adding path to take. All right, so the path is going to come in, let's see, from the top, because we're turning this shit sideways. All right, and it comes in like this, and the path sort of opens up into this clearing. All right, so probably want the whole clearing to feel a bit trodden and beaten down, because, you know, kobolds like live here and shit. And then, of course, where the cave entrance is going to be, there wouldn't be a lot of grass, because they're kind of coming and going from there. All right, bring that over here. There we go. Yeah, 4E was final. Like, again, my friends and I would call it Final Fantasy Tactics, the board game. It was not Dungeons and Dragons in any of the traditional senses of the word, but it was very fun, especially if you like turn-based, grid-based tactical combat and dope-ass abilities and collecting magical items and building magical items. It was great. It just wasn't the Dungeons and Dragons that people wanted or expected. It was very much its own thing, and I, to this day, don't feel that that was bad or wrong in any way, shape, or form. And I'll definitely die on that hill, because, yeah. All right, so we'll darken this path up because they use this path quite a bit. Okay. What could be really fun here is if there are going to be traps on the map, we could sort of put places where the kobolds move a lot compared to other places. And if you avoid, if you follow those kind of natural pathways that are on the map, you don't hit the traps. That'd be kind of cool. All right. So maybe give them a little path to follow. There we go. So if you go off that path, you're going to be... Oh, 4E combat was a dream. Oh my god, it was so good. You just... Are we just trying to break my heart today? Oh, wait. No. Will, who plays Orin on Sundays and is a fantastic player in DM, did point out to me that there is a 4E system for Foundry. So that's exciting. Yeah. I'm not sure what to do with that information. but it's very exciting. All right, around the edges here, I'm just going to darken it up a little bit with this Feywild Forest Floor. And then we do need to put a little bit of a pond or a lake in there. I hate how small the one they have is, so I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. And I might even have like a waterfall feature over here that the stuff is falling into. So let's see, what would look good at the bottom of a pond? Probably these rocks would look pretty good. So we'll go ahead and put these guys down at the bottom of the pond. There we go. Yeah, that's going to look really nice. Okay. So that's where the water feature is going to be. And we'll have like a little bit of a waterfall coming down off of the side there. Let's grab some actual water. Not sure about this, but we'll see how it goes. I'm going to turn the opacity pretty low and try to paint this water over the top here. There we go. Now, painting water is something that I am not very good at in Inkarnate, and it's taking, it's just going to take practice, but I will try my best here. Let's see. Zoom in. Because you want to be able to see through the water, but you still want the water to kind of be like its own thing. And you don't just want it like this. You just don't want it to be like a blue blob, like on the map. Now, there is a way that you could have foreground and background and have clearly delineated, like, oh, this is where the water starts. But I'm trying to kind of challenge myself to sort of create that effect naturally as I'm building maps, rather than depending on the tool to do it. I would say it's not going overly well. All right, so we've got sand here. I want the sand to be a little bit dirtier. Let's see. Guess we could just lower the saturation on it. No. Not feeling that. Let's see. There we go. And we'll change the size of it. And we'll also rotate it a bit. There we go. All right. So all I'm doing here is just trying to sort of trace out the edge of the water with the sand. There we go. I think if there would have been more option for social roleplay aspect of the game, honestly, I know people don't like to hear this, but I feel like 5th edition really for reals owes so much of its success to Critical Role. I know people don't like to hear that, but up until Critical Role and started building some like hype and popularity for the system, everybody was completely content to play regular 1st edition Pathfinder. In fact, the Critical Role kids started out playing in Pathfinder, and they only switched over to D&D because they felt like it was a new system, so it would get like a bit more attention. It was actual traditional Dungeons and Dragons, so it had like the name behind it. Yeah, it has the it has the name, it has the brand, it has the history behind it, and so yeah, it was just a smart move on their part, and it certainly benefited everybody that's playing Dungeons and Dragons. It certainly benefited me quite a bit, so I'm happy about it. But yeah, I felt like that was really what did it, because you probably hear me complain a lot about so much of the stuff going on in 5e as far as like balance and encounters, and the CR doesn't really do anything. And it's not so much that they have content bloat, because compared to 3rd edition or Pathfinder, any version of Pathfinder, there's not really any content bloat, in my opinion. I think the releases are pretty constrained, pretty mitigated. So I don't think that's an issue. But I don't know. It's yeah. I think Critical Role is really the main reason that 5e is as popular as it is. And then Wizards saw that they finally had something good, and they kind of doubled down on it. I think that it's good because Pathfinder felt like it had to rebrand to compete, and it never did before. With 4th edition, nobody asked for it. That's the thing. Everybody was completely happy either playing 3.5 D&D, earlier versions of D&D, or Pathfinder. Like, they had nobody was like, give me 4th edition D&D. Yeah, and then when they got it, they were just like, oh, what the fuck is this? And some people were like, oh, this is neat. I like this. And then some people, it was their first experience with D&D. Like Mike, what's his face from Penny Arcade? He had never played D&D before, and his first game, edition was 4th edition. And for him, that will always be Dungeons and Dragons. Like, that's Dungeons and Dragons to him. And I get that, I definitely get that. I had players that we played 4th edition together. They loved it. And then I got into the beta testing for D&D Next, which became 5th edition. And my 4th edition players fucking hated it. Like, they hated it because they started with 4th edition where they had all these options and all these abilities. And then they lost all that. So, yeah, they weren't too happy about it. All right, I kind of want to put some like ripples in the water, but I don't really know what to do with it yet. So we're not going to put ripples in the water. But I think that kind of looks different than everything else around it, paint-wise. I think that passes for a water feature. So let's go ahead and start putting all of our plants and shit down. All right, so we're going to start with these desert plants, and they're already sized appropriately. We're going to go to our brush, and we're going to set it to multiple. And we're going to increase area so that we can get more than one brush. And we're going to lower density so that we don't overdo it. All right. Oh, I'm changing the size. That's on me. Hold on. There we go. That should work. And we're going to go all the way down to -5 and start kind of painting these guys in. A little too many being dropped at once. Oh, man. Curse of Strahd already getting Fanspiration. So on the topic of Fanspiration, I think it's a fun mechanic, and I think everybody's been enjoying it. Here's my thing. I was talking to Sensei Suplex on his stream. I want to say it was yesterday. I can't remember. And it might have been Friday. He has quite a few. I think he has several thousand Twitch followers. He intentionally got rid of his affiliate status so that people wouldn't have to deal with ads on his Twitch channel. And then that also enabled him to stream live to YouTube at the same time. And the benefits there of being able to go to YouTube and Twitch simultaneously, plus not making people watch a bunch of bullshit ads, I think it might be worth losing, channel points and fanspirations and stuff like that. We could just find other ways to enable the fanspiration, system so that people can still cheer on. Like maybe, like obviously you can get it through Red's channel and stuff like that, but I like the idea of not forcing. I hate ads. I fucking hate ads. So I like the idea of being able to provide content without the ads. And also, I have 10 times the amount of people following me on YouTube that I do on Twitch. And them being able to see the prep streams and have all the prep streams automatically archived onto a channel, stuff like that. Yeah. Stream elements worked fine before with those ones. Okay. Then yeah, we could just do it through Streamlabs. You're right. So my plan then is I'll get all the information together, and we'll plan on dropping our affiliate status starting September 1st. And then we'll be on YouTube and Twitch. Hopefully that'll kind of expand the amount of people that are able to watch and enjoy the content. You know what I'm saying? But I think that's the right move. I'm really glad that I tuned into his stream because it was some great ideas. He had some great insight. Let's see. I also like how freely he uses the F-bomb. That made me feel better about myself because sometimes I think I might cuss too much. But so that was kind of nice. Seems like we kind of align on a lot of stuff about and I think with Nightbot on your YouTube now you can use both. Oh, fantastic. Yeah, yeah. So let's do it. Let's do it. Let's all plan to drop affiliate and we'll move on to YouTube and Twitch starting in September. It's official. We're going to do it. All right. So let's see. We're adding some more bracken here. I would like to add some plants around the lake, because you know it's like got water and shit. Plants like water, so we'll go ahead and do that. Add a couple of bushes here and there. Doesn't seem to be randomizing them like it says it's supposed to. Let's see. There it goes. All right. I guess if you've only got 3, there's still a good chance it's going to keep picking the same ones. There we go. It's very important with plants that you clump them. Plants like to cuddle. That's my science fact for you today. So make sure that your plants are cuddling, or it's going to look unnatural. Let's see. Add a couple of these guys in. Okay. And maybe even add a couple of these sad ferns. Nah, I think ferns like shade, so we'll leave them in the bushes. All right. Let's see. Rocks. Yes. So we're gonna go ahead and throw some rocks on here. We're gonna go up a layer, and we'll put the rocks there and there, and maybe a rock even like here. It's the same fucking rock. All right, hold on. If you don't like the rock that they're giving you, you just hit delete, and it'll give you a new rock. Let's see. Grab these vines. Throw it on the rock. And you see how I'm rotating it? It's just I'm looking at how the rock is shaped, and I'm trying to make the vines grow along the shape of the rock. That's all that's happening there. There we go. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and add our fallen trees that the brobolds are using for cover. So coming into the map, it looks like they've got one right here. And it looks like these industrious fellows also have one. Let's see, a good one. This one seems pretty good. Ah, yes, lovely. Looks like they have one over here. Perfection. All right. I think this is turning out pretty good. Okay. Yeah, it would definitely be. Yeah, I know that YouTube is definitely a mess. As far as they're not really ready, for people to be like streaming there and stuff. So I get that for sure. But I'll keep everything that's going on here, and then I have like almost 5,000 subscribers on YouTube, so it seems like that would be a good move, kind of going over there, staying here, but also going there. That's the goal. All right. Look at that. This is looking really nice, guys. Okay. So now we need... what do we need now? A cliff face or a cave entrance. So we're going to go to... let's see. Cliff, I think it's called. Let me see. Cliff definitely helps. What else are we looking for? There's these rocks that I really love to use. I can never find them. Ah, big rocks. That's literally what it's called. Okay. So we're going to grab our friend's big rocks. There we go. And that looks good there. Okay, put that over there. Put that here. There we go. Oof, that's a big boy right there for sure. Okay. And let's see. There. Kind of hints at a cave entrance. I like it. All right. Nah, you know what? I think that's good. Just like that. All right. So we've got that. Now we said we're going to do like a water effect. I don't actually know if there's a good waterfall stamp or not. I know that this sewer waterfall actually looks pretty good, even though it's gross. Let's see. This one seems like it'll be the best. We got to make it bigger. We've got to make it... Let's change the color to blue. All right, that kind of matches what we got going on. We need it to be a taller. Much taller. There we go. All right, that works. We'll just turn it like... Ah, shit. We'll just turn it like this. There we go. Drop it below the rocks. Ah, look at that. Look at that. All right. I think we can duplicate it so that the opacity is not as much of an issue. Yeah. All right. I love it. Very cool. So let's see. What else are we looking for? We don't need to make this like the most incredible thing ever, but it would be kind of cool to add some stuff to it. That would kind of spice up a little bit. Maybe since it's getting wetter and they're getting ready to go in a cave, we add some mushrooms. That might be kind of fun. Let's see. I'm also looking for a good way to add some ripples to the pond. They have these things called craggy hills and rocky hills, and they have like a very weird interaction with your terrain, but it could create a ripply effect. Maybe not though. Let's see. Nah. It basically like applies a paint texture at the same time that it's doing the thing. It can be really useful, but in this case, not so much. All right. Damn. Okay. It'll be fine. I think that's clear enough that we have made a water feature. All right, so let's go grab some mushrooms real quick, just to add a little bit of interest there. Hell mushrooms! Oh my goodness, I'm not ready for that. We'll just go with these cuties. Let's see, where would be a good place for these mushrooms? I could probably put them over here. Okay. Kind of place them in the trees a bit. There we go. Put some over here. Just kind of add some color and interest to the map a little bit. There we go. It's a little bit darker, a little bit wetter. There we go. The players will inevitably ask you what the mushrooms do, especially if you've got anybody with herbalism kit. So I'm just making your life harder, I guess, by putting these in here. Have some grow on the trees. That'd be kind of cool. All right. Nice. And then one last thing, we're going to go to paint, and we're going to go grab this paintbrush called Shadow, and we're just going to darken the entrance to the cave. There we go. Lovely. I honestly think that's pretty good. So we'll go ahead and save it. Yeah, I like it. Okay, so let's go ahead. I mean, I don't like the water feature, if I'm being honest. I really don't. But maybe we could use this shadow tool. All right, hold on. I felt like we kind of established, like, the edge of the water here, but maybe not. At this point, I may as well, if I'm going to draw this hard line here, I may as well have just used the foreground and background tool. But I wanted to just, like, read pretty well that, like, there's a water feature there. But I think it does. Let's see. Oh, that's bad. Eh. We'll just keep it as is. All right. So I'm going to back out without that last bit. Okay. And then we'll go to a new map. All right. Let's see. What do you got for me, adventure? This interior map. Okay. So we'll save this out. No. So I guess Wayward map 02. And that's what we're looking at. All right. So this interior is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 by 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 18 by 12. All right. That's such a small map, but okay. I mean, we could combine, like, the two maps together, I guess. But that's dangerous, you know what I'm saying? You should just say that there's, like, a tunnel that, like, connects the two together. Otherwise, you're going to end up pulling both encounters, and that's no fun. I mean, it is fun, but sometimes it's better to have these isolated encounters, is my opinion of things. All right. So let's go ahead and also in Foundry, for example, if I had these and they were all small, I could fit them all on one map and just connect them with teleporters. So it's not like the end of the world if we do it that way. All right. Obviously, this is no background like stone or rock or anything, so we want to be a little bit bigger than this map. Let's see what we could do. We're going to go to Fantasy Battle Map. We're going to go with... Really, though? We could just duplicate the map again, use the same dimensions for every single map. We already got the water texture and shit. Yeah, let's do it. That way it stays consistent throughout. All right, so we're going to clone this. We're going to call it WW, and we're going to call it Water Hazard Room. All right, and we're going to go in and start editing Water Hazard Room. All right. So for this, we're going to grab all these guys again. Let's see, select all. And we're going to delete them. I'm trying. Hold on. Maybe I have to be on the select tool. There we go. Delete them. Okay. We're going to go to paint. And this one's going to be a little interesting because we got this texture. And once again, we're going to reset. So we're going to go here and apply. And then we're going to go here and turn the opacity down and apply. But that's only the cave entrance that we're really caring about, because beyond the cave entrance, 1, 2, 3, yeah, 3 spaces, we don't even need that. So we actually need to switch over to a nice cavern interior. So I'm a big fan of these concrete stamps for my interiors because that's kind of what old-timey D&D dungeons felt like. They felt like attractions, basically, to come and explore. This one's really nice, this gray ground, because it already has like lots of cracks and stuff on it. So if we check out the size, okay, maybe make it like that. And let's see, we'll go from like here, and we'll turn this all the way up. There we go. And then we'll go and grab the brush. Here we go. And we'll just kind of like make a softer transition between the outside grass and that. There we go. Now, that is looking exceptionally like repetitive. So, of course, we're going to go in and start mixing things up. I'm going to take this right here. And around the edges, we're definitely going to darken it up. So, go paint all this on the edges. Going in here. Again, we're like mentally turning this sideways so that we can keep using the same template over and over again. I also prefer a horizontal map to a vertical map because monitors are generally, horizontal, and we run a lot of online stuff. So, all right. Then we're going to go in and we're going to grab this lighter gray and just start sort of painting in here. I'm going to turn the opacity up a bit. All right. And you can see that by doing this, we're kind of breaking up that very repetitive texture. There are lots of ways to do it, but this is a good way of kind of achieving that effect. All right. If you could transfer a class from 4E to 5E, what would be? It'd be Marshall, 100%. 100% be Marshall. No, it's not Marshall. Warlord? Is that what they called it in 4E? Yeah, I think it was Warlord. I would bring over Warlord in a heartbeat. I know a lot of people have, and I think I have one in Red-Handed Doom, actually. Yeah. Let's see. Take this blue to mark out the water feature. This water feature is coming in just about like so. There we go. And it's making its way through the room. We can actually be a bit more adventurous with this. And then there's just sort of a drop off here where it kind of drops off into nothingness. There we go. All right. How convenient that it's like 10 feet across, like everywhere. It's like a fucking board game. Okay, and we're going to go to this one. We're going to turn the saturation down to make it darker. Turn the brightness down as well. And let's see. We're going to go ahead and darken up the edges here some more. There we go. All right. And then that's where they go to the next area. This is the outside stuff that they're not even going to see. There we go. Beautiful. And then here, we kind of need to really get in there and show that this is a pit that's going to drop them into impenetrable darkness below. There we go. Nice. I'm feeling that. Throw a little waterfall on there and we're good to go. Let's see. Waterfall. Yeah. Yeah, I get that vibe. There we go. Cool. And then I guess over here where it's kind of spilling into the room, put another from the rocks here or whatever. All right. Cool. So let's see. What else is going on in this room? They have piles of rocks and debris. All right. So one of my favorite ways to add debris is with the broken campfire. Look at those great rocks that it throws down. So we're going to go to the lowest possible layer, and wherever it wants me to add rocks and debris, I'm going to add those like that. It says there's some over here as well. Let's see. Lots of rocks and debris here. There we go. Like, if you position it right, you don't even notice that it, like, used to be a campfire. That's what I think is so neat about it. All right, and then there's the entrance over here, and the entrance over there, and then we just kind of fill in the rest, and then we'll clean up the paint job, and that should be good. We do have mushrooms here, so that'll be a fun thing to add at the end. And we got these regular ass rocks, and we got these big ass rocks. So let's mix these regular ass rocks in. There we go. Well, this feels fun. We put it like right there. Okay. Put that above that. Where is this guy at? Put that way down. There we go. All right, back to Stampos. I'm gonna put a guy right here. Loose guy on the map might be cool, like right there. All right. Some over here. Okay, I like that. Now we go in and get these big boys, these chonkers. These mega honkin' super big rockos. There we go. Put that there. Put this guy. Yeah. Kind of want to flip this dude. Let's see. Ah. There we go. So that's sort of like the entrance. Lovely. Bring that around. Okay. Man, why don't you randomize these big rocks for me? Okay. Put this, yeah. See, that's a nice big randomized rock. Swear to God sometimes. All right. Let's see. Supposed to sort of control the shape of the room with these impenetrable rocks. There we go. Try to force them into a narrow pass here. That's a good looking rock. Why didn't I get that a bunch of times? Whatever. I don't like that one. There we go. Okay. Let's see. Definitely put that guy under here. Nice. Okay, so they come into the room, and then they have a narrow pass, or they could go over the waterfall. We don't want them to have any cover there. We do want our little guys to have cover over here. So we'll go ahead and add this to the rock pile, as it were, over here. Gives them a nice little rock to hide behind. Yeah, that's good. It's also supposed to be a bit precarious here. So let's go back. And who has the big old points coming out of it? I want that rock. There we go. So the idea here is that there's not a lot of room to maneuver here as well. So around this pit. See how there's only like a 5-foot passage there? That's what we're kind of going for. All right. And it does say that they need to have rocks to hide behind down there. So let's go in and do this guy. This guy looks like a good rock to hide behind. All right. Okay. So I want to change the color on some of these rocks that I'm integrating into the thing. I want to change the color on these to sort of match the brown of the other rocks. So we're going to go to hue. Shaman. That's a strong pick. Yeah, there was like a lot of cool stuff going on in 4E that people have. I mean, I've seen a shaman. Wasn't Don cast Forge Light? I don't know what his fucking screen name is, but didn't he make shaman? I think he made shaman. Let's see. A lot of these classes got made pretty early on by the fan community. They could certainly use a little bit of a reboot. Would be nice. Look at that. You can still see the grass where they come in. I like that. We'll add this. Kind of darken that up a little bit more. Show that's where they came from. We're definitely going to want to darken this passage over here to show that it goes deeper into the facility, the dungeon, as it were. All right. Now you'll notice that the floor is still looking kind of carpeted. So let's go and see what we could do. There's this lovely rock brush that actually just adds rocks. So as you draw with it or paint with it, depending on your opacity, the rocks might show up immediately. The rocks might be just along the bottom there. But yeah, it's a really cool tool. Combine that with the campfire thing, and you got rocks everywhere. So go ahead and add that, make things a bit more rocky. Another good alpha brush is this cracked ground. I think that one looks really cool. So you can kind of control just how cracked it is and where the cracks are. But look at how immediately that starts to add stuff in here. Anybody that thinks this is cheating, let me tell you, in Photoshop artist, you got about, I don't know, depends on the artist, but there's a lot of brushes to do a lot of things. There's brushes to draw hair, there's brushes to make leaves, there's brushes to do grass. Do not feel bad about using the tools that are available to you. My friend Cadenex sent me an invite to that new Dolly thing, like the super AI art robot. Don't feel bad about using the tools that are available to you, because I mean, you got to just use what you got, you know, make it happen. All right, let's go ahead and try to get this stream to look a bit more convincing. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this kind of dark stone that we did. We're gonna turn the opacity way up. We're gonna turn the brush way down, and we're just gonna draw like the edge of the stone here, where it kind of is being cut away by this. We could also create this effect with some cliff stamps. So we'll check that out after I'm done doing a horrible job making little squiggly lines with a mouse. Yeah, because I do not use a stylus. I don't actually know how to use a stylus. I tried when I went to like school to learn to use a stylus, but I just couldn't get behind it. There's like a weird disconnect between a stylus not being what I'm drawing on. I don't know. I don't know why I could do it with the mouse and not a stylus. It's probably just psyching myself out, honestly. But I thought it'd be kind of cool if you want to save Twitch VODs, then you could highlight the whole VODs. Yeah, I had thought about that, but it's like one more thing I have to remember on top of everything else I have to remember. And I don't know. There's a certain point where there's just too many maintenance tasks to do. And I just don't know if I could do that. I like the idea with the YouTube that I think it automatically just makes a playlist of past streams. I don't think they ever expire. I remember being super sad when I found out that Twitch stuff expired, because I had videos from when I ran Tomb of Annihilation And the earlier episodes, like the first 20-something episodes of Skull and Shackles, I did the streaming for that. And we lost all that stuff because none of us knew that stuff got automatically deleted after a certain amount of time. So that was very sad. All right. Here's a gaping maw, like in the ground. I think that actually looks pretty good. It looked better before I started adding that shit to it. Let's see. That looks good. Really cracked and broken over here to show that there's a hole in the ground there. This could work as well, kind of cracking and breaking it along the thing. Kind of adds a bit to it. Ooh, yeah, that's working pretty good. All right. I think that kind of solved the problem. But we can go check out the little cliff pieces. I think it might be too much work though. Let's see. Cliff edge. No, that's going to be too much work. We'll leave it as is. That's fine. Are there currents? Nope. I think there's just waves. So there is a way to kind of make the waves look like currents. So if we go to transform and we make them skinny and tall, suddenly they kind of look like currents in the water. And we have to turn that opacity way down. But it is a way to sort of add that like hint of movement to it. See? Just a bit. Just like breaking up a little bit. So they're kind of like waves, but it's showing, it's supposed to be showing that there is movement happening in the water. And if we add enough of them, I will believe it. There we go. You know, I am actually starting to feel it a little bit. Doesn't help that we picked like the neon blue fairy water for our water texture because it kind of looks like Powerade. There we go. Yeah, I feel like there's some movement happening there. All right, cool. All right. And then they plunge over the side. Cool. Let's just add some mushrooms. Then we'll be done. All right. So let's see. Mushrooms. We'll go really low first for some mushrooms. Maybe even we'll use multi-placement. Get a bunch of... Oh my god, that's too many mushrooms. There we go. The mushrooms are cool too because like, shit. I did all of them with like low opacity. Okay, we gotta do it over again. So I'm gonna grab all the mushrooms that I just put, all 200 something of them, and we'll turn the opacity back up so that they actually show up as mushrooms. There we go. All right. Put a couple grown on this guy. Maybe a big boy over there. There we go. And there are some other mushrooms that would look kind of cool in here. Some shelf mushrooms. Here they are. Sandstone, sewer, wall mushrooms, or whatever. So we could have some of them growing on this rock, for example. And this will add a bit more, I don't know, color and texture to the wall situation. Yeah. Yeah, that looks nice. All right. Bring that over here. And we're just looking to match like a puzzle, you know what I'm saying? The shape of the rock to the shape of the mushroom, so that it kind of looks like it would be a natural thing for it to be there. I think that is pretty good. All right. So that is enough of that. All right. We're going to go ahead and save it. Man, a couple of grade levels lower than Bailey Wiki. Bailey Wiki is like winning Nobel Peace Prizes for the shit they're doing in Foundry. I am just showing up for work at this point. Like, I like Foundry a lot, but I am not, yeah, I'm not at that level. I don't think I'm going to be at that level anytime soon. I don't know if I want to be at that level, if I'm being honest. Let's see. We need to be able to see what's going on in the water here. I think that works pretty good. All right, cool. So now we'll save it for real. All right. So that map is done. Let's check the last map we have to make. It is the final encounter. All right. So saving it out. Interesting layout here. There's just like a random ass water feature when you come in. What a fucking mess. Okay, we'll see what we can do with it. Yeah, no, Bailey Wiki, he's an amazing artist. He's an amazing programmer. Dude's got it all. I don't know. I mean, I haven't seen him run a game. Maybe he's just not a good DM. He's probably an amazing DM too, honestly. I don't know what to say. All right, we're gonna go back to our map dashboard. We're gonna duplicate this one by hitting clone, and we're gonna put a dragon's lair. There we go. Now, one thing that this one doesn't have that ours can have is a big ass dragon skeleton on the ground. So that's pretty cool. I probably should have reread the descriptions of the room instead of just trying to match up to what was here. Maybe for this last room we'll do that. Let's see. This cavern was once the lair of the dragon Karen. It has become home to kobolds and a prison for her offspring. Varza, blah, 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 slow-moving stream. They don't really provide much of a description, just features in the room. So as long as we have features in the room, we should be okay. And the features in the room are corpses, a dragon skeleton, and rubble, and a stream. So yeah, we should be okay. All right. Let's see what we could do with this. I kind of want it to just kind of come in from the top, sort of where that stream is right now. But we'll see what happens. So we're going to select all and delete it. We're going to go over to paintbrushes. And we're going to start with this. That looks like the right one. No, this. And turn the opacity back up to 100 and apply. All right. Now we're going to go in and mess with this. So let's see. I'm going to use this lighter tool. lighter colored pattern to sort of trace where the fighting and the action is going to be. So like here, all this seems good. Got this whole shit back here. Got area over here. And then we got shit around the corner. Okay, that seems pretty good. All right, so then we're going to go ahead and use this tool to darken up the areas where the fighting is not going to happen. So darken that. Go over here, darken this. Go down and grab that. All this is going to be out of bounds. Up here, got a little alcove area, I guess, off to the side here. And there. Yeah, I'm getting a sense for the layout of this room. We got a water feature still. So many fucking water features in this room. And they don't make any sense. I'm going to be honest. The water features don't make any sense. So I'm just going to have like a spring here. Like a pool. And I know that they wanted to have lots of places for people to, like, you know, deal with difficult terrain, like jump over shit and all that kind of stuff. So we'll have a spring here, and then it will divide up the room. So we'll have the kind of come out, and it'll wind its way over and through the room. And I guess it'll split here, and then it'll also split this away. Okay. So that's what we're going to do. Nice. Where's the water coming from? The Underdark. I'll take no further questions at this time. But thank you for asking. And let's see. We're going to do a bit of a reverse order here. We're going to go with these big boy rocks, and we're going to use them to immediately start dividing up the room. So I'm going to go all the way up to like 4 and start dividing up this fucking room. So looks like this will be perfecto. Once again, not giving me any of my randomization stuff. It's cool. It's cool. Go here and drop that guy right there. All right. Let's see. Are there other ways to make cave walls? Absolutely. Does it look as natural and cool? I don't think so. Does it read a lot better to use something like Dungeon Alchemist or Dungeon Draft instead of doing it this way? Absolutely. Don't ever make your maps like this. This is how trash people make maps. Let's see. Go like that. Bring that over here. Yeah, that's good. Looks like it's like disappearing in there. Same thing here. Gonna do that. Got this situation down here. All right. I feel like we're catching the general vibe of this room. I don't know. Maybe. Kind of add that. Ooh, that would give somebody a little place to tuck in on the other side of that pond. That'd be kind of cool. And then I guess shrink this down. Put it here. It's supposed to basically be going off map at that point. Okay. So I'm going to grab all these big rocks, and I'm going to try... What am I trying to do with this? I guess I'm going to try and group them. I'm trying to remember the hotkey for that. I'll just go here. We're going to group it. Okay. And I sort of want all of the shadows on this to be the same. Customize global layer shadows. Don't know if I'm ready for all that. No. Let's go over to what is this? Select objects. All right. I probably should have set all of these to be at the layer level. There we go. So I'm going to edit the whole group, and I'm going to tell them to do a layer shadow. That way they're all casting together instead of on top of each other, which is just better for what we're trying to do here. All right, cool. So now we have these rocks that are sort of like dividing up our room a little bit. Things that the adventure told us we had to have: water feature, also skeleton. So let's see if there's a dragon skeleton. There it is. Epic stamp, dragon skeleton. Which one best fits Karen? That one looks angry even in death, which feels very Karen. This looks extremely picked over. They both look pretty picked over, honestly. Let's give Karen the respect she deserves, and we will have this one right here. And we'll say that she died back here. Go. Jesus, what level are we putting this stamp on? Put it on 3. I don't think that there's anything for coins or treasure. Oh, well, I got custom coins and treasure. It's not really appropriate. So if we're trying to share this out, because those are from, I can't remember which map pack they're from, but I can't really use those if I want to share it out. So I guess I got to make my own treasure stamp if I want to start sharing it out. So we're going to do place multiple, and we're going to turn up the area, and we're going to turn the density way down. There we go. And I don't know why it's randomizing the size. That's a little weird of the coins. We want the coins to be very small, though. The coins that are left over. Yeah, what the fuck? Why are the coins all different sizes? Randomize the stamps. There's no randomize size button. Alright. That should be fine. Turn the density way down. There we go. Ugh. Alright. I'm going to go to like -3 here. Alright, then we're going to make the coins silver by just taking away their saturation. Ta-da! Okay. That works. Oh, yeah. How deep is the water? I believe it's 5 feet or so. I haven't really gotten into detailing that yet. We'll also grab some of these campfire doodads. And we'll go down to -5. And we'll drop some of them down just to get some random rocks here around the edges. There we go. It's a great, the broken campfire, I'm telling you, it's a good way to get like just some random kind of debris out onto the map. And as long as you're hiding that actual campfire part, nobody will ever know. There we go. Cool. I don't think they ever added stalactites to this. Let me see. No, we don't have stalactites. Okay. It's going to be hard to make a dragon's cave layer and not be tempted to throw some other stuff in here. Oh, let's throw some fish. That'd be kind of cool. Those are dolphins. Those aren't fish. These would be kind of cute. So let's see. With these, we want to turn the opacity down so that you get the hint of the fish in the water without the actual fish. There we go. All right. And let's see. I like the idea that this is super slow moving because maybe there's some rocks there that are making it slow moving. So let's go back to our stamps and we'll go to our friends, the rocks, but we'll lower them down and we'll also lower the opacity on them. Kind of show that there's sort of a natural fjord here. And then we'll turn the opacity back up. or the ones that are along the shoreline. There we go. Yeah, that looks kind of cool. And then that sort of shows that like the water kind of flows through those rocks, so that's why it's not very fast in this cavern. All right. I don't know why all of these are showing up so high on the thing. Let me grab all these boulders, I guess. All right. Boulders. Select all. Make them all go down to the lowest level. There we go. All right, we should probably save. Okay. So, that's looking pretty dope. Got fish in the water. We still got to clean up the paint job on the water. We got the bounding areas. We've got debris. We got bones. There's also bodies. So let's add some bodies to this. Corpses. Dungeon corpses. Lovely. Okay. So, assuming that a space is 5 feet, corpses would be about like that. There we go. And let's see. Oh, we need Gerblin corpses. We don't have Gerblins. What can we do? Okay. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this guy's corpse right here, this guy right here, and we're gonna go to filters, and we're gonna change the hue to make him green. There we go. And then we're gonna go and make him wider, edge shorter. Goblin corpse. Listen, I'm trying my best. All right. So we'll have that. And that. There we go. Okay. And then we'll throw another regular sized person in there. There we go. Cool. Okay. And then we need blood. Blood. All right. That is very red blood. Let's see what we could do. Blending mode. Multiply? Nope, too dark. Hard lights? Yeah, that works good. Okay. Randomize the stamp. Okay. A little bit more. There we go. Splatter off to the side. Yeah. Yeah, this kid's a killing machine. Oh, I put blood on top of them. There we go. Can't even tell that they're not Gerblins anymore. All right. So we got the blood. There's supposed to be another rock here for somebody to hide behind. So we'll go back here. Oh, that's true. That's true. We're going to take this rock right here, and we're going to widen it up a bit. There we go. So it could be a much more strategic hidey spot for a certain kobold boss lady. There we go. All right. I love it. I think it's great. So now we got to just tune it up a little bit. We'll add some of these shelf mushrooms for Flava Flavs. We put the bounding box rocks on layer 4 so that we could easily place these shelf mushrooms on layer 5. Totally planned that in advance. Let's see. Go. Over here. Some of them kind of look just like, I don't know, like pieces of like dried fruit. I guess that's kind of what a mushroom is, because it's like a plant and a vegetable. No, it's a plant and an animal. That's what I meant to say. really tired. Let's see. Here we go. I guess these would be everywhere in this cave because there's just water everywhere. Between the fish and the mushrooms, though, we don't have to explain where the kobolds are getting all their food from. These are 4th age kobolds, too. So that's when kobolds were still pretty evil, but they weren't, like, super monstrous. So, like, it's not implied at any point that the kobolds and or the dragon are eating these people. But they're apparently all really lazy about doing their chores, so they didn't get rid of the bodies. So I'm not 100% sure what's going on. I know that they left the bodies there for narrative reasons, but it's a little silly. We're converting the adventure. We're not like trying to completely fix the adventure. I guess that would be like a different series. Like, how do you make this adventure actually make fucking sense? Would be a different series entirely. Who would really care about something like that, though? Just here to fight monsters, get treasure, and in this instance, get a cute baby dragon. Let's see. There we go. All right. We'll grab some of these mushies. That's a very big mushie, so we'll shrink that one down. And let's see. These need to go down to like layer -3. There we go. Okay. Kind of just growing on and around the rocks. I guess some of them would probably be growing on her body. So let's see. What height do I have to put those at? Jesus Christ. All right. Aw, it's like she's got a little flower in her hair. That's cute. It's a bit disruptive to what I'm trying to accomplish over here, though. All right, that's enough flowers growing on her body. They're not even flowers, they're mushrooms. All right. Okay, so I think we're pretty well established that there's mushrooms, it's dank, there's rocks, there's dead bodies, there's dragon skeleton, all that goodness. Now we just got to figure out how to make the water not look completely like ass. So we'll start with this. And we will... what do we do? We'll turn the opacity back up. We'll make the brush hella small. And just like before, we will just sort of trace where we would like the implied edges to be of this here water feature. Cool. And yes, this is a thing that we could be doing by using foreground and backgrounds, but I'm trying to get better at hand painting in Inkarnate. So I'm trying not to use foreground background unless it would be very, very beneficial for me to do so or save me some time, that sort of thing. Or not even save me some time. It would just make sense for the project that I was working on. I think for this one, it makes sense for me to try and hand paint it because it's a good opportunity to try to skill up on it. And again, this is with a mouse. So I'm basically just moving a piece of soap, like a bar of soap around on my desk, trying to get something to look decent. There we go. All right. So that already reads better, which is part of why we're doing this. Let's see. We could do some rocks here. So we're going to lower the opacity again on this brush. Put rocks at the bottom of this pond. There we go. Maybe a couple there. A couple here. We could also put rocks up on land too. Though I think land pretty much covered, but we'll go ahead and add a little bit. Here, turn this up. Again, these alpha brushes are great for just taking the paint job you already have and just giving a little bit of a push in a, breaking up that texture a little bit. There we go. All right, sweet. And back to this. We'll grab the lighter color and we'll come in super small and try to add a little bit of highlight here as we go around. Oh, thanks, Luxeus. Yeah, this is the fourth one we made today. Been doing this for about 90 minutes, almost 90 minutes. Maybe longer than 90 minutes. I can't keep track. What's it say on my... well, I don't care. We'll just keep going. We gotta finish it up. Let's see. I don't know why I'm bothering to put this little tiny highlight line, but I'm hoping it will help it read just a little bit better. Right. Hopefully it doesn't make it like read worse. That can happen. But it's such a subtle thing that maybe it won't. All right. Yeah. If you can't see a difference, that's okay. I can, and it means everything to me. All right. Let's go in here and add this broken brush texture to the edges, because that worked really well in the last area. There we go. We could even shrink the size down just a wee bit. Nope. Just a wee bit more. There we go. Kind of get that crumbly, the water is slowly eroding us vibe going. There we go. Yes, good. All right. I like that quite a bit. Unfortunately, there are some spots here that I don't like, so I'm going to go in and just kind of darken it up where the water is too out of bounds, I guess we could call it. There we go. There, that works good. All right. And over here. Alrighty. So that's good. Okay. Let's save it one more time. All right. And we'll add some shadows here. We're going to put the shadows under this overhang where the pond is. It's pretty good. All right. Under the overhang where this is, because remember we made layer shadows for these instead, so that kind of gives us a bit of control about how the shadows are going to look. Wherever there's darkness on your map, people are not going to be paying as close to attention. So you can kind of use that to your advantage to sort of make those areas seem less interesting and kind of keep the focus on other areas of the map. Like, people are going to be like, where do those caves go? And then you just give them the classic D&D answer. Deep into the Underdark, the scope of which is outside of this adventure. And then you just drop the mic and walk away. All right. Let's see. I guess the center of this would be darker than the edges. There we go. Nice. All right. That is looking very nice. We have made a very nice set of maps today. Okay. Up here's a little rough, but I guess that's whatever. I don't know. Not really digging like this one particular mushroom, like hanging out like it is, but can't have it all, I guess. All right. It's good. It's really good. So, I guess the next video, we will take all these guys into Foundry. We'll wall them up. We'll light them up as appropriate, and we'll start populating it with the stuff. And then I'll try to bundle it all up, and we'll send it out to patrons. If you are a patron, I'll post all of these maps that I made just now today. I don't like that little random piece of banana peel. There we go. I'll post these up onto Discord when I'm done with this stream. But I got other stuff I got to do. Got to go have lunch. Got to take my kid to their new job orientation. Got to work on a secret project for a little bit. I will be back at 6 prepping Mythic Odyssey. We're going to continue prepping Themis. And then tonight at 8 o'clock, I'll be hosting Major Snood, and we will be playing some Mythic Odyssey. Tomorrow night is August. I may have said it was September yesterday because I'm very tired lately. And tomorrow's August, and so tomorrow's Monday. I'm going to start prepping the post-game content for Odyssey Prime. So I'm gonna tomorrow night stream. We're gonna go over all of the what I did on my Thailand summer vacation homework assignments that we gave all the players, and we're going to look at the actual post-game content, and we're going to figure out a way to combine the two of them together. So it's not going to be a lot of Foundry stuff. It's going to be a lot of writing, homebrew, campaign design, encounter design, that sort of thing. So that's what we're going to be doing tomorrow night. Tuesday is the last episode of the Skulljammer mini-series. It's been very, very fun. We got a really cool fight underway. I imagine it's going to be pretty bananas at level 16. And then we'll have some, I guess, probably some fun role play to close everything out. Hopefully nobody dies forever. That'd be kind of sad to die in a miniseries. Wednesday, nothing official going on. Thursday, more Witchlight Isekai. They will be going to BronyCon for the ultimate BronyCon heist. I'm really enjoying the contemporary fantasy vibe, so it's some of the most fun D&D I've run in a while. Friday, I don't know what's going on. Might be playing spooky video game with like 4 other people and streaming it, so we'll see how that goes. And then Saturday, more Red Hand of Doom. And Sunday, we'll be back here for some more Mythic Odyssey. So that's the week coming up. All right. Maybe I'll see you guys later today. Maybe I'll see you tomorrow. Otherwise, I will see you next time.